Hello everyone, this is TheNelston. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm here with the long-awaited wood tier list. Now I've been meaning to make this video for a while, but I've been working on other projects like the hardcore playthroughs, so I finally got some time to make this video, so I decided, screw it, let's make it. So here it is. Hope you guys enjoy. I want to make this clear, this video is neither subjective nor a joke. Everything I say is 100% factual and it's 100% objective, and anyone that disagrees with me is scientifically incorrect. So feel free to take your complaints to the, scientists or something, because you're just wrong. Let's start off with oak wood planks. These are an easy S. They're oak wood. You can't go wrong with this. Come on, this is just, it's perfect. It's literally perfect in every way. Next up, we've got spruce wood. Spruce wood is all right. It's a little bit darker. It's not as universal as oak, but it does work in a lot of builds still. And I definitely got to say, being one of the vanilla woods, it again deserves a higher spot, so I got to put it at around B tier. It might be A tier if it was a little bit more versatile, but I feel like it's just kind of a situational wood, so you really got to knock it down a notch or two. Next up, we got birchwood. These are okay. They're a little bit lighter. They're kind of like a whitish wood, whitish yellow. If they were any more yellow, they'd look like piss, but fortunately, they're kind of like the right shade of light yellow, you know what I mean? So these are going in C tier only because they're kind of bright. I don't really think they fit with all builds, but it's an okay wood. It's all right. Jungle wood planks they're kind of like the ugly duckling of the vanilla woods. They're kind of ugly. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, these are kind of disgusting, but in relation to like some of the other woods here, I gotta say that it's really not the worst. It really isn't. I would put this in an E tier just because it's usable. It's at least usable. I know this might be a controversial opinion, or not opinion, sorry, a controversial fact, but if you look at some build, like you build a house in the jungle, like a tree house in the jungle or something, and you use jungle wood, it actually looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. So it's gonna go in the E tier for now. I might change my mind on this though. Acacia planks are, they're weird. They're like kind of rotten tangerine color. Like if I put it down, it looks like a cuties has been sitting out in the sun for too long. Like it's okay. It's not bad, right? It's very situational. It's a very, very specific need wood, but it does work when it works. So I'm gonna put this in a D tier because it's just not quite as good as something like birch, but it's just not as bad as something like jungle, And finally, we have dark oak planks. I think you already know where these are going. Just look at this. It's beautiful. It looks like chocolate. It fits in nearly every single build. It has the word oak in it, and it goes well with the oak wood. So, what more could you ask for? This is an easy S tier. Next up, we're going to get into the modded planks. These are stalagnite planks from, I believe, Better Nether. They look weird. I'm going to be honest with you. They look really weird. I don't know if it's because like the lines here kind of like make each individual plank pop out more, but if you look at it, it's an interesting take on wood. I'm not gonna lie. It's very interesting. It's very like there's a certain level of depth to it. You feel like it feels a little more 3D than some of the other woods here. So just for that reason, I'm gonna give it at least not like the bottom 50 percentile or so. I don't know how good this is though. It's kind of like an ugly green. It's like minty. It's like minty, but it feels wrong. So I'm gonna put this, honestly, I'll put it about a C tier. It works when it works, and it has a unique texture. Next up, we have sacred oak wood planks, and I know this is gonna be, again, another kind of those controversial opinions or facts. I keep saying opinions, I'm sorry. But I just gotta show you guys something, okay? You gotta believe me when I say that this works when it works. So let's take a little bit of oak wood from up here as well. And let me just show you, okay? Someone said that it looks like an individual like puked on a piece of oak wood. And I can kind of see where you're coming from. I can definitely see the remains of the dinner for like right here. I can understand it. But check this out, okay? If I put vines on a regular piece of oak wood, it looks good. It looks good. It's kind of like druidic. It's very unique. But when I put it on a piece of sacred oak, it just pops. Oh, that's an ugly vine. There we go. Look at that. Come on. It has a depth that no other plank really has. It works when it works. It's very specific, but when it does work, my God, it works. Like, come on. Just look at this. I'm not a good builder by any means, but you can make it work. And when it does work, it looks so good. So I gotta say for that reason, it's definitely going up in the A tier. All right, next up we have cherrywood planks. These are interesting. I'm going to take some white concrete because I want to show you guys something. So I was actually building a pagoda a little bit earlier with these because I got to express my East Asian pride. And, you know, they look interesting. They definitely look good, and they definitely fit in with like the whole like East Asian theme if you're talking about builds that you're trying to make, like a pagoda, for example. So I definitely got to say it is a good wood to use. It's not good in every single situation. It's a very like intense red color that doesn't necessarily fit in with everything, but at the same time, like when it does work, I'm going to say this a lot, but when it does work, it works. And so I got to say this is probably going in around, I'll put it in B tier. It's an interesting color. Next up, we got Umbreon Wood planks. These are cool. You know, they kind of remind me of like grape candy. Like they got this really interesting, like muted purple color. And so I quite like it. I actually think it works really well in like a kind of like a witch build, you know? Like if I actually, let me just try this out. I've never done this. No, I guess that doesn't work too well with that, right? But like if you get some, I don't know, dark oak logs or something and you just put it on the side, like that looks pretty good. You know, and you could conceivably make some kind of like magical build with Umbreon planks. So I'm a little split on this. I'm trying to decide between C and B. I feel like it's very similar to its cousin Cherrywood, so I'm definitely going to put it in B tier for now, although it might drop a tier depending on how many woods are distributed in the other ranks. Next up, we got firwood planks, and all I got to say is... Okay, but real talk, let's talk about the issues with firwood, okay? Just take a look at this. I'm going to walk around it a few times so that you can get a good, long, hard look at it. It tries to be gray. I'll give it that. You know, it tries to be like this grayish colored wood, which would be cool if it was gray. But then it has to add like a splash of green. You know, it's got to add like this touch of depression, of just pure misery. Like you just look at this wood. It wants to be something so bad, but it can't. You know, it's like the imitator from Plants vs. Zombies. It's just grayed out. It's just ugly. You know, it tries to be something else, but it can't even be that thing good. It's just a failure. You know, it's like if you take wood and you infused it with the essence of British weather and you would get this. You would just get fir wood. Like, what is this supposed to be? You know, what is this? I can't tell. What color is this? What emotion does this convey? I'm not really sure, but it does certainly bring the emotion of rage out inside of me. Ethereal planks are kind of similar to Umbreon and cherrywood planks in the sense that it's like a unique color that you can't really find in vanilla, and it works. Again, I'm going to say that over and over in this video, but it works. It really does. And for that reason, I'm just going to put it up here with its siblings and cousins in B tier. It looks good. You know, it's like a very cool teal color. It's like minty, but also not minty. I guess minty would be more like these stalagnate planks, and I could definitely see myself using this in a build pretty often. Next up, we've got probably my favorite planks out of all of these. It's just an uncontested S. Let me just put it here first, and then I'll explain why I'm saying it's an S. I mean, just look at the shading on this, okay? You might say, oh, well, Nelson, all the other planks are shaded the exact same, and you wouldn't be wrong. You know, you got these like Glock or something shape, and then you have these like lines, the equal sign, and you've got that in this wood here. But the color choice is just immaculate. Come on, look at this. You've got your, you know, dark blue base to really fill in the creases and crevices of the planks. You've got the lighter but still beautifully rich and also muted though. It's like muted but rich, like blue for the line thingies, and then you got the nice sky blue, just washes over you like a pleasant wind. Blue right in between all these things, and then of course these like dots, the wood dots are just, they're perfect as well. Every part of this wood just is good. You know, it has so much detail, so much life to it, and it doesn't even try to be different than a vanilla plank. So this is easily just the best wood on this list. I have to say that right now. There's nothing else that beats it. There's really nothing else that beats it. And it just looks so good. The only issue is that it doesn't have a trapdoor, which is why it's only S tier. But if it did have trapdoors and they had good looking trapdoors, man, this would go up to like an S+++. Fuck you doing over here? Next up, we got Mangrove planks. These are cool. I gotta say that right now. They're very bright, like they're very shiny. You know, they don't actually emit light, but if any wood was to emit light, I would have to guess it would be mangrove planks. I mean, these are just bright. You know, they're very cool. They're very cool. They're very useful, especially if you think about combining with magic wood planks, which is just the best wood, right? It looks good. It really does. So I gotta say, mangrove planks are they're not universal by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm putting them in C tier. You know, they look good. They look good. All right, next up we got these palm wood planks. I gotta take a good look at this, cause how do I feel about it? Here's the thing. The first thing it reminds me of is like a beehive. You know what I'm talking about? Like, let me grab a bee. Oh, I can't even get a beehive. Oh, I can. Crazy. You see what I mean? The colors and the palette, it just reminds me of a bee nest. I gotta say though, it's a cool color. It's a cool color for sure. It's kind of like goldenrod, which is one of my favorite colors. So I gotta say, I might be a little bit biased just because of the coloring, but this is going in B tier for sure. Man, B tier is really starting to stack up. Redwood planks are kind of like Acacia's older, more mature brother. I mean, just look at it. This is like, Acacia's kind of like, still going through puberty, you know, it's still got acne, it's still got its identity issues, it's got all these different crises going on. Redwood planks have their shit sorted out. You know, they know what they want in life and they're gonna go get it. Unfortunately, they're not the best looking wood, I gotta say that much, but they're abundant, right? If you find a redwood forest, you pretty much are never gonna need wood again. So they're abundant, they're easy to get, and they look okay. You know, they're a good substitute for acacia wood when you don't want something that looks like crayon. So this, it's not that pretty though. So I'm still putting it in D tier. I think that's only appropriate given where its little brother is. Willowwood planks are another unique kind of colored wood. I feel like this is fir, but done properly. If you look at the colors, right? If we look at fir, I mean, it's like the same concept, but a little less depressing. You know, fir kind of waffles. It tries to be both gray and green, whereas willow just very adamantly says, you know, I'm a light green. That's all I'm gonna be. I might be a little bit grayish, but I'm green. So for that, I gotta respect it. It's still not a good looking wood though, in my opinion. I don't know exactly where you might try to use it. I might just be bad at building those, so I don't know. But this is definitely going in a D tier. It knows what it wants. Pine wood is kind of like jungle wood. You know, if we put them side by side, it's like jungle wood but a little bit lighter. And you might say, oh, well, you know, it's just a jungle wood imposter, right? It doesn't really actually look that good. But I honestly feel like it's what jungle wood should have been. You know, if jungle wood is like the raging alcoholic hobo that's on the street, pine wood is like the 9-to-5 brother that has a job, or 9-to-5 sister that has a job that actually pays the bills. You know, I really feel like it's what jungle wood could have been if Mojang tried a little bit harder. And I gotta say, for something that you might like put on the floor, and you could surround it with something like, I don't know, nether bricks or something, right? So like a darker brick. Actually, let me try this out real quick. This is my favorite block, by the way, black granite bricks. Yeah, it doesn't look bad. It really doesn't. I gotta say, it doesn't. So, you know, for that reason, I'm gonna keep family together and put it in E tier. Because again, it's not bad. Like it would be okay. It would honestly probably go in like a C or B, but it's got to care for its family. You know, it's got to care for its family, and so I'm going to put it right next to its sibling. Hellbark planks are like, what are these even supposed to be? I'm not exactly sure, quite frankly, and it's weird. It kind of looks like a wood floor if there were 100 French revolutions that happened on it, and it's just confusing at the same time. You know what I mean? There's like a confetti party going on. Like I could tell you a story about what's happening in these wood planks. Like there's like the birthday guy, and then he's got his friends over, and then they have confetti, and then I guess they like execute him here or something. I'm not really sure, but I'm still working on that part. I just feel like it's a unique wood. It tries to be different. It's not going to fit in any build, to be completely honest. It's just too vibrant to fit in a build. But because it tries to be unique, I'm definitely going to give it at least a D for effort. Jacaranda planks are cool. These are cool. That's all I have to say regarding them. You know, they are like whitish, so they're kind of like a cross between mangrove planks and Umbreon planks in the sense that they're like a light hue of purple, but they're also whitish. And I just want to say this: these go best with magic wood planks. Like Jacaranda plus magic wood is honestly one of the best wood duo like combos. Although again, I need to stress that nothing is going to beat oak wood and dark oak. Like they're just meant to be, you know. But Jacaranda and magic wood fit together really well. And because magic wood is so high up there, by extension, its complement is going to go right in A tier. Mahogany wood planks are cool. They kind of look like those like Sprouts gummy bears. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, if you even live in the United States and have a Sprouts, but if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. You know, like the 12 flavor like chewy gummy bears that are just really good, right? It kind of reminds me of that because it's got like this pastel kind of candy feel to it. It's the first, I think, pink wood. Yeah, it is the first pink wood that we've reviewed, although it's not going to be the last for sure. But I have to say that it's kind of like bubble gum. That's what I'm thinking about. Bubble gum. Yeah. You know, like it's a very muted pink, and I feel like it would go well in a lot of builds where you need pink, but you don't want it to really pop, right? You want it to be kind of more muted. You want it to be a little bit more quiet, to just fit in, but not really make a huge ruckus, right? So I gotta say, for that reason, mahogany wood is going in C tier. Ebony wood planks, come on, these are a black wood plank. You cannot find this pretty much anywhere else, and you'd have no idea how long I've waited for a black wood plank. So this is going in S tier. Okay, we're talking about eucalyptus wood, huh? Okay, we're really doing this. We're really doing this. Well, first off, let me start by saying, okay, and now that we've got that out of the way, let's talk about eucalyptus wood. If there was a wood that was worse than fir, if that was even possible, right? You get fir, you take a look at fir, you're like, this is terrible, this is horrible, this is no good. And you think, wow, what could be possibly worse than fir? And the answer is eucalyptus wood. What is this trying to be? Seriously, someone tell me, what is this trying to be? You've got the nice base of fir. You know, you've actually not fir. It looks like pine, like a pine base. You know, but then everything just goes horribly wrong. You've got orange for some reason. You've got your greens. You've got your yellows. You've got your blues. You've got your like shit colored browns. It looks like someone tasted the rainbow and then violently untasted the rainbow. Okay, this is no good. This does not spark joy. It is not a good thing to build with. Someone please show me a build in which this works, and I will actually bet money that somebody cannot build a good build with this. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Do it, okay? Because I guarantee you, this is just the worst possible thing that you could have tried to build with, right? If you spawn in a eucalyptus biome, you may as well just delete the world because you can't get a good build. Like just give up. There's no point continuing. It's honestly hard to believe that the same mod creators that made magic wood planks also made eucalyptus planks. Where's the relation? Like magic wood planks is when they showed up to work like dressed in a clean iron suit. They look prim and proper. And then eucalyptus is like when they were hung over at 2 a.m. They're like, you know what, fuck it, let's put out a new wood just to screw with our players. Tarred planks. Okay, I have to say these are so cool. Like these are so interesting to look at because you can kind of see the liquid, right? Which makes sense because tarred planks were supposed to be made with wood tar, right? So you can really see like the liquidy feel of it, but they're also planks. They're also planks, and they look amazing, right? They've got all the good of dark oak planks, but even more vibrant in a way. I feel like dark oak is just the right color of brown, but tarred planks they're great. They're really great. You know, just look at it. It's beautiful. It really is. And of course, it's a good fuel source. So what more could you ask for? This is going in A tier. Stain planks, I'm just going to use white stain planks because I feel like that was the first one that came up in my search, so I just went with that. All stained planks are cool. Like, they're vibing. They're rad, okay? You can make wood of any color. Like, if I wanted this wood, where is it? This wood. Look at that. It works. I can get it. Like, blue stained planks, light blue stained planks, purple stained planks. It just works. it's perfect. Like, you can customize it any way you want. So this is 100% going in S. You can get any color of wood you want, and for that reason, I think it easily deserves a spot there. Vertical planks are just sick. Like, look at this. This is innovation. I didn't know we had the technology to make these kind of planks. And let me show you something, okay? Let me show you a real quick, Papa Nelson's gonna show you a real quick building trick. Okay, check this out. Check this out. Look at that. And then you just grab some stairs like this. Look at that. You got yourself an amazing looking gate. And of course, you might want to like change these a little bit. I don't know. You can do what you want, right? But you see what I'm saying? Like, you feel like it works. It's such a good plank to use in a lot of castle builds. And in Rebirth of the Night, I mean, if you want to survive, you're just gonna build a castle. Like, that's how it works. So, yeah, I have to say, this plank is going to go in A tier, because it is not as versatile as the good old like regular sideways planks, but it is still very useful for making a lot of cool walls and gates and things like that. So yeah, stained planks are going in the same tier as regular planks, just because regular planks are an S tier, vertical planks are an A tier, regular stained planks are an S tier, so of course stained vertical planks are going to be an A tier. Olive wood planks are different. Like, they're really built different. They're a different breed. They almost look like brick because of how little contrast there is. And you might think that's a bad thing, right? Like, oh, I'm trying to build with wood, not bricks here. But I'm gonna be honest, I really like that there's this kind of bricky wood that I can use to put up walls that almost look like brick but don't. You know what I mean? Like, these look like terracotta bricks, if terracotta ever had bricks. They certainly don't work in every build. They 100% don't work in everything. But again, I don't know how much I'm repeating myself. I feel like a geriatric patient here, but when they work, they work. Easy B tier. We've got ironwood planks now. Let's take a look at these. So ironwood planks are, well, let me just say first off, I can see the iron, right? That's definitely a plus. I can see the sturdiness of these planks. They feel strong. They feel like they're gonna pick me up and fucking fling me across the room if it ever saw me. So they're buff. They're buff planks, They're definitely ironwood. And I really like how the textures kind of fit together. Kind of like with the olive wood, how they like really mesh well together to form a large coherent structure. Whereas some of these other planks kind of have like the borders to them. Like, you can kind of see the like border between the planks, right? But with these planks, they just mesh well together. So I'm going to definitely put this with the olive planks for that reason. Wormwood planks, man, these are funky. These are like ripped straight out of a My Little Pony toy. This is great. This reminds me of Orichalcum from Terraria. It's got a really intense pink color to it. It would be fun to build with. I've never actually tried it, but I feel like if I were to try it, I could definitely see myself using it a lot, just because of how quirky it is, if you will. So I'm gonna say this is probably a C tier. It's not gonna work everywhere. It's really not, but it is so cool. Like, it's so different from all the other styles that it definitely at least deserves a green. You know what I mean? Like, I would green light this in a project. Towerwood planks, my god, these are beautiful. Come on, you can't disagree with me on this one. They definitely make a tower. I'll tell you that much. It really reminds me of those like 16-bit games where you have a limited amount of space to really work with, so you just make your planks like huge on all those pieces of wood. Like, it looks like something out of, I don't know, like Castle Crashers. I really like how it joins together at some parts and just forms this really thick ligature, and then its other parts it's got this thin connections, and it's just it's great. And of course it's a vertical plank, which is unusual for wood, so this is going in S. I feel like I have a lot of S tier woods, but wood is just a good building material, Like, there's no way around it. It's just such a good building material that the fact that a lot of them are in S tier absolutely does not surprise me. Twilight oak planks. These look really, really, really mature. These look like if you could age oak planks into some kind of wine and then turn it back into wood. Like some kind of Jesus, but instead of water to wine, it's wood to wine. It really does look like it would add character to a build. I'm going to be completely honest with you. So for that reason, I'm going to throw this in A tier. It just looks really refined and mature. Canopy planks. These things are basically what I just said about Twilight oak planks. Is that what it's called? Twilight oak planks, yep. Except for spruce. And spruce is decent, but this looks, I think, better than spruce because of how much depth it has. And let me just say this right now. I feel like for all the shit that Twilight Forest does wrong, like the frankly terrible boss design, the fact that the mod is barely updated, the woods really look good. They really do. So I would say this is going to go in B. It's going to go, actually, I'm going to move cherry real quick. There we go. Perfect. Right next to spruce. Twilight Mangrove planks are bad. I kind of retract what I said earlier about the Twilight Forest planks being good. They're not that good, to be honest. They look like bloody birch planks. It's bloody. That's it. This is gonna go in E tier. It's very ugly. I feel like it might work if you made, see, and then you've got like a skull and you've got like the blood, and then you have, you know what I mean? Like this would be cool. This would be a cool build, but other than that, I really don't see a good use for these planks. Darkwood planks are basically, I think, a recurring theme with a lot of the Twilight Forest planks is that they're kind of retextures of old vanilla planks. So you can clearly tell Darkwood is inspired by like a bastard child of Acacia and Jungle, because it's got the weird orange of Acacia, but the definition of Jungle. It's definitely a very pronounced wood, right? Like the dark parts are very dark and the light parts are very light, and it creates a really unique contrast between the crevices and the planks themselves. It's cool. It really is cool. I just can't shake the fact that it kind of looks like a manure pile, like in terms of the color, but you know what? It's fine. I'll give it a pass. I like the design so much that I'm gonna put this in C tier. Timewood planks are just sick. Like these things are sick. If you put them down, they're so cool, and they make really nice homes, I think. I've never actually built with them because I keep dying in the Twilight Forest, but really these have a nice feel to them. They just feel comfy. You know, it's like a embracing hug. It feels like getting a nice warm hug from someone that you really care about. So I have to say that this is not the best wood for every purpose, but it just feels warm. It emanates warm vibes. Okay, and I know I'm not doing doors for other types of planks, but first off, look at this beautiful item texture. It's gorgeous. And second off, come on, look at this. This is an unbelievably good looking door. Like if there's any reason to put down wood doors over iron doors, this is it. So for that reason, I'm going to put it right here in A tier, but instead of putting the item, I'm gonna put the beautiful door there instead. Yeah, that's lovely. Transwood planks. I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this because it has the word trans in it, but I'm gonna keep it real with you. These are bad. These are really bad, ugly, orcish wood. And I don't know, for some people they might like it, but again, remember that this is all scientific fact, and what I say is 100% objective. So in my opinion, transwood it's kind of like trans fat. It's bad for you. It might feel good when you look at it, like, oh wow, I really like those blue dots, but it's just bad for you. So this is going in, it's not quite as bad as these woods. It really isn't. It kind of looks like fir wood actually. So I can see why it's so ugly. It's very depressing. So I'm putting this in F. Minewood planks are, I'm running out of things to say. There's so many woods, and this is clearly just like a darker version of birch. I don't know what kind of like niche it really fills. It feels like the other woods, like I feel like all of these 4 woods here are the exact same, but in different colors. Of course, with transwood just being awful, but this one is fine. It's a very average wood, and so I'm just gonna put that in D tier because I don't know where else to put it. Sorting wood is the final Twilight Forest wood. This is cool. This reminds me of tarred wood planks, but if they were a little bit lighter, right? Like this definitely fits with that vibe, and I really do like the color. I really think it is a nice color, but at the same time, it looks like shit. Like not bad. It doesn't look bad. It looks like fecal matter. And even when it breaks, oh my god, when it breaks, it's like you just had Taco Bell for dinner. So I like it, I really do. but these bottom tiers are a little bit underpopulated, so I'm sorry to do this, but yeah.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?